So this is the introduction and verse riff as played by bongo in the Skyhooks song Hey What's the Matter. The chord shape that I'm making here is a D7 chord. The way I form this is by sliding a chord known as C7 2 frets higher. So this C7, let's talk about that. You're taking a normal open C chord shape. If you don't know how to play a C chord, have a look through some of the videos on this particular YouTube channel, and I've got a video showing you how to make this C chord. We take our open C chord, and to make it C7, you're going to add your pinky to 3rd fret on 3rd string. And you now have a C7 chord. It's this shape that we're going to slide up the neck. So in this position it is C. If I move it 1 fret higher, it is C sharp 7. And moving 1 fret higher again, D7. And this is where we want to be. So my top finger is at 5th fret now. C7, C sharp 7, and where we want it to be, 5th fret, D7. He strums this chord using a technique called palm muting, where I use the backside of my palm to deaden the strings off a little bit. And the way I'm doing that, just the palm resting towards the back of the guitar, this part's known as the bridge. And I'm resting my palm right near the bridge to just get a deader sound without that palm muting. A little bit too country sounding to copy the sounds that he's doing in this particular song. We need it to be tight and funky. So I'm strumming the D7 chord by hitting just the 5th string by itself, the bass note of the chord, so the 5th string by itself, and following that up with a down up strum, so bass down up. And when I apply the muting, he alternates this bass note in playing this rhythm riff. The way I'm doing that is just taking my top finger from the 5th string to the 6th string. None of my other fingers change, just the bass note is alternating. Hitting the bass note once on the D and twice when you take it up a string to the A. That's how you play the introduction and the verse of Hey What's the Matter for rhythm guitar. In the introduction there's a lead guitar part played by Red. On the studio recording this is done by 2 separate guitars. What I've done is turn this into a live arrangement so you can do it all as one guitar player. The way that I'm doing that, I'm up in the 10th fret area of the guitar, so most of my playing within this block of 10th fret to 13th and 14th fret, and we're playing what we call double stops, 2 notes at a time, simulating the 2 different guitar parts on the studio recording. So where I'm putting my fingers, my 3rd finger, one next to pinky, is going to 14th fret, so use your double dot on your guitar, double dots at 12, 13, 14 on string number 3. 14 on string 3. Following that up at the same time with my middle finger, second finger, 13th fret, that's one in front of the double dots, on second string. And both of those played together like a chord. That leaves my first finger free to flatten out across 12th fret for the next part. Then flattening at 10th fret. All of this so far has been played on string 3 and string 2. What I'm doing at 10 is just giving a little bend down, just to bring it more towards the pitch of the 11th fret note. You do hear that 11th fret note more clearly on the studio recorded version. Then I've got a single note riff following these notes, 12th fret and 10th fret, 12 and 10 on 3rd string, and then finishing at your double dots, 12th fret of 4th string, the one above. And then part 2, part 1, part 2. And then in answer to that, the last part, part 3 I'll call it, of this section, fret numbers 10 and 12 on your 4th string, and then 10 of your 3rd string. 10, 12, string 4, and then down a string to 10. Part 1, part 2, part 3. The second half of that lick is almost a repeat. You just cut out part 3. Part 1, part 2. And we rest at the end of that part 2. Two halves that we can split this into then. The first half, all 3 parts together. Second half, repeat part 1 and 2. And that'll give you the lead guitar parts that you'll need to play over the introduction of the song. And he does use some of these as well in his improvisations during the verses, for example. So the chorus goes like this. This time I'm using an F chord shape. I've got a finger at 1st fret on the 2nd string. Next string up, fret 2. And then fret 3 again on the next string up. It's like a staircase. Fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, and I'm starting on 2nd string. And what is happening here is the pinky will come on and off. So the first 3 strums, the pinky is on 3rd fret of 3rd string, while you're still holding that F chord shape behind it, and it's going on, off, on. And then following that, on, off, on, 3 strums, 1, 2, 3. And what I'm doing to keep everything short and choppy, as this is quite a dancey, funky tune, is bouncing the pressure of my fingertips on and off the fretboard to keep the sound of the chord very short. So you can probably see me squeezing the pressure on and off there. So this is the first bar, which is over the F chord. We then slide this riff idea 2 frets along, and it would now be in a G chord position. The same on, off, on, 1, 2. Only 2 strums of the chord following the pinky movements. So on, off, on, 1, 2, 3. Slide up 2 frets. On, off, on, 1, 2. And then back to the verse riff. So the full chorus, F, G, D7, and again. The rhythm that backs up the solo in Hey What's the Matter, we're taking our riff that we used in the intro and the verse and sliding it right up now to the 10th fret. So this top finger is at 10th fret of the 5th string. This would be called a G7 chord in this position. And we're doing the same rhythmic idea, the same alternating of the bass. Then moving this G7 chord shape up to 12th fret. It now becomes an A7 and doing some accents. So my strumming is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And I'm just doing that as down strums. You could do it as down up. So that was our G7 at 10th fret. And then going to the A7 at 12th fret. Following that with a single note run. So these notes that I've hit to end out this solo section, it's mostly played on string 4. Fret number 7 and 5, they've both got dots there, easy to find. This is on string 4, 7th fret, 5th fret, 4th fret of string 4. Then I'm going up a string to the 5th string at 7th fret. I'm putting my 3rd finger there, so it's easy to slide back to start that rhythm riff we've used for the intro and verse again. So the solo section played in full. And you're back into the next verse. There's an interlude just before the last verse, which sounds like this. So what I'm playing here, just to start us off, got my 3rd finger, the one that's next to pinky, 3rd finger, going to 9th fret, once again a dotted fret, use those dots, on the 4th string. Following that with 7th fret on the 3rd string. And if you want to, you can slide into that very first note we hit. The next 3 notes all on the 3rd string, frets 7 and 9. 9, 7, string bending at 9th fret, string bending, releasing, and then back to 7. Part 1, 9, 7, 7. Second part, 9, 7, bend. Last bit, return the bend at 9, 7th fret. All of that part 2 and part 3 took place on the 3rd string. The only note that is on 4th string is the very first one. And then we get a repeat of that. But this time we just hold the bend. A repeat of the first bit. So the lead guitar style part is like so, and I'm following that with what guitarists know as the Hendrix chord. As used in Purple Haze. We're sliding this shape right up to the 12th fret to make it an A. The label of the chord, A7 sharp 9. So a bit of a scary name, bit of a scary finger shape too. Here's how it goes. Middle finger I want to start off with. Take that to double dots, 12th fret, on your very top string. Next, I'm putting my first finger at 11th fret of string 4. A bit like the top of a G chord. Third finger, 3rd string, once again at your double dots, 12th fret. And then finally pinky, 13th fret, 1 in front of the double dots, on string number 2. And the way I'm strumming that, I'm hitting the bass note, which is the 5th string, and then strumming the chord. That accenting, an accent where you emphasize certain beats of the bar, takes place 4 times. And once again we get that single note riff that was in the solo section. String 4 and the frets 7, 5, 4. 7th fret on the 5th string, landing at 5 on 5, because that's how we're going to kick back into the rhythm part. Let me play this whole interlude section. For the last choruses, instead of playing the F and the G chord part as shown earlier, they play a single note riff. So the notes you'll need to play. We are on the 4th string, and much like the way we ended the solo and the interlude, the frets 7, 5, 4 and then going up a string to 7. And we're going to hit that last note 3 times. So part 1 of the riff, fret numbers 7, 5, 4 on the 4th string, and then 3 times 7 on the 5th string. We follow that, part 2 of this riff, by recapping some of the notes we've played. The notes 5 and 4 on the 4th string. So fret 5, fret 4, 4th string. Fret 7 on 5th string, moving back to fret 5 on 5. The rhythm will be the same as part 1, just a different collection of notes. Which again takes you back to that rhythmic hook that the whole song is built upon. On the studio recording, they do harmonise this line. This would be the one guitar I'd play if you're just playing it by yourself, or if you're the only guitarist in your band.